This is the
rare
worst
monsters.
patch
Yeah, I know they
notes in
changed
a
that.
like a
Okay, let's
1.1
see
patch
here.
notes
Quests and
ever.
events.
Or at least 5.
This is the new patch for the first season of the game, and we got a lot of changes. We got a whole lot of changes. Let's talk about it. Number 1, everything is worse. Number 2, everything is harder.
Rax's video was
Number
fucking
Everything you were
disappointment city.
doing, now you have to work harder to do it again. Number
really
4,
was.
leveling.
He was not
slower.
happy.
Number 5, hell tides. Worse. Damage reduction. Reduced. Vulnerability. Gutted. Good decision, by the way. I agree with the vulnerability decision. I think it's smart. All of the stats.
Either everyone has to have it or remove it.
It was too much better. It was way better than everything else. It was like just bad. I don't think it was a good way to be designed. However, everything else is kind of sucks. Now, obviously, there have been like some really big problems in the game, like resistance is not working, people running out of storage space, necromancers not having a viable minion build, you know, characters not being fun to play at the early game. Rest assured, none of those things are fixed. That's right. None of that's fixed. So let's go ahead and see what they did. All right. And we're going to scroll down. We're going to be skipping a lot of the other stuff, but we'll just go ahead and take a look at this.
Are you
This
are you
is the
streaming on
new
Twitch?
unique item. This is the
Yeah,
one
oh
that
my
never
god.
drops.
Yeah, I'll open it on
It gives you a
Discord.
random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite enemy. It can only occur once every 30 seconds. Thank you so much, Blizzard, for adding this. This is very useful for the one Korean that's going to get it in the next 3 years. Thank you so
Super
much.
unique.
This is going to be super fun to see the picture of it on Wowhead. Thank you so much, and on Maxroll. Really appreciate that. Also, Barbarian, lucky hit, core skills, 20% chance to freeze your enemies and deal cold damage to them.
What barbarian ever has been like, I want to free someone?
This is
But it's cool.
kind
I
of
think
good.
Azurath looks like it's going to be good.
I mean,
it's
I would say
actually
this is a
D2
kind of
weapon
good sword.
that Barbs used to use
I
a
would
lot.
use this sword if I
really
was
good.
pushing nightmare keys because it CCs
Had a chance
mobs.
to freeze, a lot of cold
It's
damage.
not amazing, guys. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good.
I guess it's also a sword too,
Frenzy.
which means it has innate crit damage. Good.
That's true.
Mage
Rex
Bard,
himself
though,
said
Lucky Hit is
it
trash.
very well
Lucky
could
Hit
be
scales
good
kind of well,
because if
Could
the
but we'll
numbers
see
were
what's gonna
pretty
happen.
high.
So yeah,
Okay.
and also if the other stats on the sword are bad, it would still be bad. So I think this weapon is okay. Let's look at the Druid one. Flesh Render, Debilitating Roar, and Blood Howl deal 0.5 to 1 damage to nearby poisoned enemies. Well, they're about 16 damage too low for the Druid average, so not really a great item there. But we're going to go ahead and move on. And this is Necromancer. Now, I want to talk about Necromancer. Obviously, big problem that Necromancer has had is the fact that Necromancer is obviously clearly a Necromancer. They raise the dead. And so is there going to be a way for one of these new uniques? This is what a lot of people were expecting, that the new unique was going to make minion builds more viable. No, it's not. So let's read it. Lucky Hit. While
You
have
are
an
not a
active
necromancer,
bone
you
storm,
are a
hitting an
bone
enemy
magician.
Outside of a bone storm has a 5 to 25% chance to spawn an additional bone storm at their location. Each of your active sacrifice bonuses increases this chance by 25%. So they actually incentivized even further for you to not use
I
minions.
missed this earlier.
That's
Oh my
right.
god.
And the total number of additional bone storms you can have is +1. So you can bone storm while you're bone storming, and you have an extra bone storm. That's exactly what we needed. Thank you so much. So
It's gonna be fun to
they
play,
also-
but this
they need to
no
rename
one asked for.
Necromancer
Nobody asked
to
for that.
Archer, because that's basically what it is. Rogue,
Fair.
Eagle Horn, unique bow. Penetrating shot has a 38% chance to fire an
I
arrow
remember
bounces
this.
off
This
walls of the scenery, hitting enemies
lame
from
but
behind.
cool.
Penetrating shot will make them vulnerable
Eh.
for 3 seconds. I think this
Lame
kind of
uniques.
this
All of
sounds
those
cool.
uniques are named are
This is
kind
good.
of
Like,
lame.
I don't play Rogue. It sounds cool though. Yeah, I really don't know. Hanzo? Yeah, kind of like Hanzo or something like that. Yeah, it probably looks cool to have happen, which is, I think that's important. Oculus.
Unfortunately, it's a bow, not a crossbow.
Apparently, I've been seeing memes about this this item. Let's see here. I think there was a video.
Did you see that? Oh my god,
So
did you see
somebody-
that picture?
Ooh.
Dude,
Oh,
look at this
shit.
picture. New sort unique is intriguing. Sorcerer. Blah, blah, blah. You are now taken to a random
Yeah.
location.
Wow.
Let's see here.
That's amazing.
Transported to a
think
better
this is
game.
cool. So somebody actually showed a video about how the new sorcerer unique works, because a lot of people
Yes,
are wondering
show
how
me
it
the
works.
video,
I
please,
wanted
please,
to
please,
go
please,
ahead and
please,
show
please,
it.
please.
Gain the effect of a teleport enchantment for free. When you evade using teleport enchantment, you are taken to a random location.
That's so
here we
bad.
go.
Why don't they just listen to their?
So he just used it. And it looks like he is in Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow.
All right. Well, pretty interesting.
Okay,
And,
okay.
you know, kind of a unique thing. A lot of games don't have that. And now Blizzard does. So very, very cool. And let's see here. Azeroth and Flesh Render uniques have flat damage effects which scale with power. Azeroth deals between 3,000 and 6,000 damage. Well, that's fucking garbage. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see here. 5 close enemies, stun them for 2 to 5 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 20 seconds. Okay, that's so that's like that's interesting. I mean, I kind of don't like this, but okay. Craven mobility aspect. You gain movement speed whenever you're moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. This is just fucking stupid. I'm not really a fan of this. I guess maybe it's okay because it can keep you, like for Whirlwind, maybe it's all right. But I feel like there are, like, am I crazy that, like, where was the Actman video where he was talking about dealing damage on a Tuesday? Because he said something like, you can only, this increases your damage while you're playing a barbarian, while they're distant from you, while they're vulnerable, only on a Tuesday, only on a morning, and only if you're playing on a Mac. It's like, what the fuck is this? How many conditionals do we need? It's insane. What is this? There's too many variables. What the fuck is this? Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It's 3
And
variables.
it's lucky hit.
Yeah,
I don't mind lucky hit.
You're roboting.
I really don't think it's a big deal. I think because you can scale lucky hit and you can get a lot more stats for it. It's not that bad. But, you know, we'll see what happens. You will after the patch. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't mind. I didn't mind it before. Maybe I will mind it now. Barbarian, Ancestral Charge. Charge calls forth 4 Ancients who also charge, dealing 50 to 100% of normal damage. So that's very good because there's going to be, I think there's 4 Barbarians. Well, there's 4 Barbarians that are still playing the game, and one of them is playing Charge. And so it's going to be nice for that guy to be able to have a buff to the ability. Very cool. Let's go to Druid. We'll take a look at that. Subterranean. Poison Creeper also casts landslide in a circle around you.
Fallen off the face of the earth.
I feel like this is very good. I
one
feel
good
like
build
this is
is
very good.
boring.
Is it garbage?
It's good build though.
Like I really, it's good. Yeah, because I've obviously, like, I played a little bit of Druid, but like I'm just looking at it. It's good.
Oh,
okay,
that's kind of cool.
Necromancer. So this is the opportunity that Blizzard has to make Necromancer minion builds more viable. Let's see what they decided to do. Gore Quills. Blood Lance will consume blood orbs to conjure lances from them. Each additional blood lance deals 20 to 50% of normal damage and prioritizes targeting unlanced. So this just makes blood lance better for like single target, basically.
It's so bad.
I think. I'm not really sure. For AoE. Okay. Alright, got it. Past
Someone in his chat said it's like Callista from League, and this is so
points.
untrue.
Every third cast of Puncture is poison imbued with 100 to 50% normal potency. That's nice. Sorcerer, after spending 200 to 100 mana, your next firewall is free to cast and will destroy small incoming missiles.
Oh, that's kind of cool. But
Okay, I don't.
Think the
Would anybody use that? I feel like there's
like,
at least like nobody that would use that, right? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Accessibility, primary screen reader, failed to read specific elements. Okay,
I
these
thought
are
the
all
destroying
fixed
small
issues,
missile parts
right?
was cool, but
So,
I guess
let's
after
see here,
thinking about it,
Conscious
even like
Hellish.
for 1 second,
So
it doesn't destroy the corpse spell arrow.
That's great. Cooperative play.
Probably doesn't.
All of these have been fixed. They also fixed the issue with what do you call it? Like whenever I would whirlwind and go into a suppressor mob, they fixed that, which was kind of nice. Another thing is that they made a lot of the ranged mobs run away from you less as a melee player. That was nice. So let's see here.
Actually good for a lot of people.
Barbarian
like
fixed an
Blizzard
issue
sorts,
where number
big
of
time.
enemies to defeat for Barbarian class. Masters of Battle is not displayed. Okay, there we go. Oh, fixed an issue where the outer edge of quakes granted to Hammer of the Ancients via aspect of Astral Echoes was doing far more damage than intended. And what they mean by far more damage, so before where you were doing 15 million, okay, that number now goes down to 3 million. So this is a bug. They fixed the glitch, and now barbarians are finally balanced. Thank you, Blizzard.
Can you guys
Great.
help?
It's also actually divided by 10. Oh, it's worse? Oh, never mind. I got the math wrong. The number's even lower. Okay. Druid, who gives a fuck? Necromancer, these are all bugs, right? Fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an issue. Right, so these are mainly bug fixes. Players could unnaturally teleport. Okay, yeah, this is all nice. Okay, great. Fixed an issue where chest could spawn to provide infinite loot. Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know, man. That
Items
fucking
and
teleport thing
aspects.
just makes me just
Fixed an
like,
issue.
question everything
This
about their
is
entire
a
team.
Blizzard W here.
It's
The
an odd choice. It was an odd choice.
level requirement for sacred items caps at 60, and the level requirement for ancestral items caps at level 80.
Good.
So, like, theoretically, if you look at this item here, it requires level 100. This will no
They
longer
do
be
not
the
know
case.
what game
And
they are
now
trying to
all
craft,
of the items
or
only
they have
require
so much
level
planned
80,
in
as
the
you can see
pipeline
on my
that they
screen
can't even
here.
make those changes
This
right
is
now.
a
They have
good
to, like,
change. This is a Blizzard W.
balancing
I'm
act.
very glad about this. It is an
Just
improvement
bake
to
it.
the game.
They don't fuck the
So
entire
yes,
game's rep.
obviously there are
the
not only
meantime.
negatives.
But they did that
there
with
are some
E3.
positives. Let's go ahead and look
And
at the
people
rest of it,
still
though.
play and love it, and they kind of turned it
Once
around.
you see
sort of,
changes in Helltides as well as stats, well, let's see how Helltides are. We have Helltide up right now. Let's see how it is.
between 6 and 10 years later.
Let's do it. Again, very smart to put your character on the loading screen. Gets you to spend more money. I think that I've decided what I'm going to play for Season 1. I'm going to play a Necromancer with a minion build. I'm going to play Necromancer minions, and if it's bad, I'm just going to quit the game. There it is. Problem solved. Okay.
Can't argue
And
with
let's
that.
kill all these guys. A lot of mobs here. Okay, so I got 9 items. Very cool. Okay, I got 1. Not so cool. I got 1 out of that. Okay. And I got
Here, calm down, dude.
1. Okay. Mystery chests apparently now cost 250. Oh, I got 1. Nice, I got 1. No, I got 2 out of that. Okay, that's pretty good. They now cost 250. Okay, that's a lot. Wow. Okay, oh, we've got a boss over here. Oh,
Almost
wow.
double.
Oh, wow, it's a boss. I'm gonna get a lot out of this. This is gonna be crazy. Look at my damage. My damage is just nuts. So my damage, by the way, with my whirlwind, I used to do about double this. Like, so effectively my damage got cut in half. So like, I'll give you just an idea of like how this would work, right? So like, I started at like
That's what I'm trying to grab.
items of higher power was dropping in the first hot. 1 patch nerfs and 1's complete. This changes. We got a
Oh,
whole
shit.
lot of this.
Um,
So I won't be full loot.
yeah.
Although, how much
okay,
how much
let's see,
did it end
so I
up
got-
dropping?
Really good here.
8. 8
So,
dropped from that
okay,
boss.
let's
So
see,
that's
so I
a
got-
hard nerf.
Did they nerf that?
I got 10.
Yeah, the cinder drop rate for sure.
Wait, I only got 10 out of that?
What is wrong with
That's it?
Blizzard? What was wrong with that? Why would you reduce it? Why would you even
8?
think we'd be okay with that? Even if that was your plan.
Wait, how many did I get out
Not
of that?
only did they reduce it, they increased the cost of the chest.
0. I thought
Right.
so.
That's
So
what
it's
I
like
mean, like
double.
on top, like,
Double
Okay,
down.
what about this
Why
one?
did you do
I got
both?
1.
What is-
Okay, all right,
Why are
all
you
right,
so
good.
heavy-handed in the worst ways?
All right,
for
now
it?
It's
we're building up
Fruit
momentum,
plus
guys. Let's go.
nuts.
Okay, 2. Okay, no, never mind. That's just 1 again. Got 2 sacred items. How
Like,
do we know
haven't you
that?
heard of the
I'm
thing,
not
like,
even sure.
one little
Sender's going to
change
be
at a
fixed in the
time,
first hotfix.
incremental
It's already been
progress?
addressed. Okay, great.
Significant, but
That's good.
you know,
Let's see
specific,
here.
so you can measure it.
Items of higher power was dropping. Well, now let's talk about the real. These are the gameplay updates. These are the important things. So alter below without unlocks or account wide,
It's like,
mount discovery account
we
wide.
wouldn't be
Whispers
hopping on the
will no longer
bandwagon if it
reward
wasn't
sigil
true.
dust.
Yeah,
Overall
that's
loot
like
quality
that's
has
the
been
other.
significantly
Like,
improved
yeah,
for
it's
silent
true,
chests.
right?
This is
It's
a
not
pretty
even
big one
bandwagon
here,
because like
very
dude, everyone
important.
thinks
The
this
channel
because
time
it's so
for the
true.
leave dungeon
He
ability
hasn't even gotten
has
to
been
the bad shit.
increased
He's gonna
from
like
3
his
seconds
jaw's gonna drop. Just move him over to the
to
fucking
5
defense
seconds.
and stuff.
So
if you
now
don't
it's going to
mind.
take longer to teleport out of the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this was okay and
doesn't
weird. That one,
solve
yeah,
the
that was
problem
weird.
that
Doesn't
renown
really make
isn't
sense.
fun
It's
to
just basically
farm.
just trying to not let hardcore cheese it.
It's a
but, like,
waste of time.
Give me
This
a time
does
portal so I can
not
back out.
make me happy.
You can do that in PoE,
So
do it in
World
D2.
Tier 2 has been increased. Monster on release. I don't know why they didn't do this. Level scaling inside dungeons, most overworld territories has been adjusted. So level scaling, basically the levels trail behind you in most areas rather than ahead of you or equal
That's
to
so.
you.
I missed
I
this
guess
earlier
this makes
too.
level scaling not as oppressive,
That's so bad.
and people feel like they're making more progress.
No, that's
I think
good.
this is a
No, it's so
positive
bad.
change. I like this change.
For
This is a
leveling?
good change. World Tier 3
Wait, I'm sorry, I
example,
thought I was reading
somebody's
the
55,
monster
monster
level
level's
thing right here.
55,
Sorry.
55 to 60. It's
I don't know. If you ask me, that change just makes it harder to get EXP.
Level scaling has been
55, yeah,
adjusted.
I think this.
So that monsters will be up to 5 levels behind you.
No, I think it's fine. I think that I think the actual, if you're properly gearing between sacred and ancestral, that jump between 3 and 4 can be pretty fucking rough for a lot of
Yeah.
characters.
I guess you are right.
This is fine. Experience nerf, yeah, we're going to talk about the experience nerf. We're going to look at that and see kind of what's going on with this. So, won't you level slower though? Well, yes, but in like a huge way. And also, if you want to level, like you want to do nightmare dungeons. Like nightmare dungeons are the best way to level. So it doesn't really matter how well you level in the other areas. I think it's not that big of a deal.
He hasn't
but
even
yeah.
seen the nerf to Nightmare Dungeons yet. Oh,
Let's
bro.
see here. Players level 76 to 80, the monster level 75, 81, 76. Okay, so it's a -5 basically. Let's see here. Reward experience for completing Whispers in World Tiers 3 and 4 have been significantly increased. Obviously, that's a good idea. We've observed that the experience bonus rewarded from killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players on taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies while the other members waits at the dungeon's entrance.
Unfortunately,
we are adjusting bonus
that's just like an outcome of ARPGs. Like, you know, it's kind of hard to multiplayer a dungeon. Like, you know, it's hard to multiplayer a mystery dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you guys can split up, but like it's like you do multiplayer to increase efficiency. Because if you're running around like with three of your friends, to be honest, and like, you know, no one really knows what to do. One person's killing everything like barely in front of your friends. Someone gets lost, and then their inventory's full, and then dude, it's a nightmare. Like, well, the multiplayer experience in an ARPG is actually just not good. Yes, me.
experience rewards for killing monsters
It's difficult
that
to
are
play with
a
your
higher
friends.
level than the player. So right now, it is 15%, 20%, and 25%. So they've changed it from 15%. What they did, let me go ahead and just show you guys in case anybody doesn't understand. So they had 15, and then this would be the dot. And so what they did is they put the dot right here, and so now it's going to be 1.5. So as you can see
That's
here,
so bad.
there has been a nerf by a pretty substantial degree. If you look right here, it says +1 level is now 1.5%. And so there we go. +2 levels is 3%. It used to be 20%, now it's 3%. And then also 10
Basically, the
levels is
nerf
now
is
only 15%. So even
at best,
the
25
highest
to
level of
15.
grinding nightmare dungeons, you are still getting a 10% reduction in experience.
Like, really, guys.
So yeah,
Honestly.
and just for comparison, what level were the mobs in that nightmare dungeon I did? I don't remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember like what that is. 111. Okay, so basically no 95 to 111. Okay, so basically you have to run tier 56 plus nightmare dungeons in order to maximize your experience. Yeah. That's where we're at. 46 is level 100.
56.
Yeah, so you have to run 56 or higher to maximize experience. And no. Oh, am I misunderstanding? Oh, I guess it wouldn't matter because what am I thinking? At level 100, of course. What am I? I'm so dumb. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Why would I level? What am I trying to get to 101? Yeah. You guys are right. Basically, you have to be at least 10 levels higher. Okay, that's all it is.
Yeah, 56 at the highest.
Casuals never get
No,
this
no.
level.
Well,
if
not
they ever
necessarily.
want to, now
55, right? Because he just said if you're at level
55
100,
right.
yeah, level 99.
they won't. So obviously these
Gotcha.
experience nerfs have been massive. Current level, we're also adjusting experience rewards for monster level offsets to higher world tiers. So basically this is to stop people from power leveling. The reason for that is because having to level up a second character is very great content, and it's super exciting and engaging. It makes just makes the game more fun. So Blizzard decided to make it a lot harder to power level a character. So that's been solved, and now we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right, it's so tone
And
deaf.
so there we go.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Yeah,
Let's see
tone deaf
here. They
for
should
sure.
sell boosts. Yeah, they probably should sell
know?
boosts on the store for this. We're looking to increase the danger of Helltide's risk-reward gameplay by making
They should
monsters a
probably
bit more
sell
challenging.
boosts
No
in the store. That's probably
fucking
what they're mad
way.
about.
Oh my god.
That's probably what they're mad about, bro. So they want to.
Yeah, I could totally see that too.
I can totally see that. It's pathetic though if you buy a fucking max level dude. It's like I don't have time to be. Dude, they're gonna do it just because
Like,
they're pathetic.
I feel like they do an EXP potion, but
I don't know. Yeah, maybe they'll just do like a double or triple experience. Yeah.
why should it be
selling a thing would be so
150%? Just so that Blizzard could just like milk it. I bet it'd be some lowball number. It's like look at the potion elixirs in game, dude. It's only like 8%, like 3%. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Challenging and the
5% for all
tortured
of
gift
them.
of mysteries
Period.
harder to open. Well, they did make it harder to open because now it takes 250 cinders instead of 175, and now the monsters are 3 levels higher. And also, there's apparently it's not
also,
intended, but
hold on,
right
hold on.
now
Making them 3 levels higher is now much less useful and meaningful because now the max experience bonus is from being 10 levels higher. So instead of 3 levels higher giving 25% more, it's 3 levels higher gives 4.5% more.
Yeah.
So
He just said that you want to be. Oh no, yeah.
Oh.
Well, they did get nerfed. So they're at 5 levels above you, or 3.
No, they're 3 levels above you instead
damn.
of 2. So instead of 25% experience, it is now 4.5% experience bonus for being 3 levels higher. Ouch.
Why did Blizzard do this? Why did they just say, "Hey guys,
Like,
let's punish you for playing our game still"?
fucking hell, bro.
seeing Helltide monsters
what's wrong
dropping
with
a
them
lot
for
less
giving no
cinders, I
reason
think
to
this is
farm at
something
the
that will be
end game?
changed. But we're just gonna have to wait and find out and see what happens. Next, let's see here. They'll have boosts from Battle Pass. They do, but this is the free Battle Pass. There are no paid boosts. So Barbarian, let's see here. Hamstring got nerfed. This is probably a good change, by
Literally
the
a
way.
fucking
I know
master
obviously
of these
people might get
patch
upset about
notes.
this. Hamstring, putting 1 point in it to just activate a conditional, like 100% of the time. Like, I thought it was just bad design. So I'm glad they changed it. I just think it should be balanced in a different way. And Wrath Glyphs now affects
What do
all
you mean?
damage instead of just
Sorcerers
core
still have to
skills.
do it.
This is better, I guess. And a few other changes. I'm not going to go through a lot of the changes because they're just like small percentage, you know, like readjustments. But you can pretty much expect what it's going to be. Increase to slow, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Irrelevant Whirlwind Barb
Dude,
uses
bro.
shouts and Whirlwind. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They even said they fixed one of the patch notes was they fixed Firebolt, the enchantment. The burn from it wasn't counting as a unique burn source for the final fire passive that makes them do more fire damage. I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, damage sources are so limited, and you just like fuck us in every way.
Imagine being Sork.
I know. What did I do?
And Gore's Grips now explodes every 2 seconds or after it ends. And its hit cap has been removed. So this makes Gore's probably just as garbage as it already was. I don't really think that's going to make it any better, because every 2 seconds it's not going to be able to store enough attacks to really do any damage. It was very good, and now it's not, and it's still not. Fields of Crimson, bleeding bonus increased from 10% to 15%. This will increase the amount of people using it. It will. I think it will multiply it by about 100 times. So if you take 0% of people that are using it now and you multiply it by 100 times, you still have 0 people using it. So anyway, we've got what's this here? This is Druid. They've changed Druids to do different things. I'm not going to look at every single little change. Necromancer. Some of the Necromancer minion abilities have been improved slightly. We're seeing Skeleton Warrior Defenders, you know, having a little bit of a buff. The Skeletal Priest damage bonus is 20 to 30%. So minions have been buffed slightly. Not a lot, but a little bit. And Skeletal Priest healing from 10% to 15%. This should be an automatic heal and not a heal over time. And it should also stack if you do multiple sacrifices. Blizzard will, of course, do none of this. But that would be nice if they did. Golem moves through enemies. Yep, there we go. And so Paragon levels, Essence Glyph,
It's funny that was
core
a
skills, probably a good idea. Let's
Golem
see
now
here.
moves through enemies.
Nothing else really too exciting. You guys can see pretty much the rest of it. Skeleton damage bonus increased from 20 to 30% to 30 to 40%. Again, a little bit of a bonus in minion damage. I think that at this point, guys, I guess I'll probably make a video. Like, maybe I'll record a video like off stream and talk about my plans for Season 1. But I'm thinking right now we're just going to play a Necromancer minion build. And next thing, we have, obviously, this is, what's it called? Is this Sorcerer? Where is it? Oh, no, this is Rogue. Rogue, yeah, I got confused for a second there. Rogue, again, I don't really play Rogue. I don't really know a lot about Rogue. Don't really care, to be honest. Sorcerer, this is obviously a lot of words. They made it worse. And
Yep.
so let's see here.
But why?
Aspects, so these are the aspects of classes. We're going to look at those.
Here we go.
Aspect of disobedience. I actually think that this is probably a
think
good
this
decision for them to make.
This stresses
So,
me
so
out
like the
watching
problem,
this again.
I think that
At least as
I'm going to talk a little bit
I meant
about,
to-
like, I probably should.
sorry, Bill. I'll pause it. At least Asmongold is breaking it down in a way that's making me less depressed than Rax was.
Yeah, Rax actually is a super toxic person, just for the record. Like,
Oh
you
no
don't
way,
just
dude! I
look
love
at
him. He's so
No,
cool.
I think he's fine and a good guy. But I don't know. I just get this like serious vibe that he would be disagreeable greatly, especially after seeing him in a podcast with the other guys.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that from, I guess, a Diablo mains in general. That makes sense.
Exactly.
But I mean, yeah, he just said it super matter of fact. Yeah, I think he even tried to be nice to Blizzard about it. But the sarcasm here is really, giving it a soft hand.
Not talk about this right now, but I think this is the big problem that Blizzard made with these patch notes is that they released them without showing people like a lot of the advantages and bonuses we're going to get through the Malignant Hearts. Because I'm sure that a lot of these things that are being changed will probably be offset to a degree by the Malignant Heart damage. But the problem is that whenever you don't show people that, they're out now, okay, they've released them.
The Malignant Heart stuff has to be insane. Like, it has to be at least 300% somewhere added
Not
up.
that insane.
Then this
Natural
is
has
garbage.
released out? Okay.
This is gonna feel so bad.
They released all the new
I mean,
gems. It's on a
you can
different
get, like,
page.
45%
Okay. I
attack
guess we'll have to
speed,
look
you
at
know,
that after
plus
this.
Malignant Heart.
Yeah, I thought they
Pretty
hadn't yet. But I do
Pretty
think the
huge,
hearts
honestly.
will make up for some of these nerfs.
By the way, look at this. The Butcher's Cleaver slow is increased from 40 base
Wow.
to 61 base. No one asked for that.
That's still the point. Yes, they're compensating for hearts. Yeah, I mean, the point is still the same, right? Is I think that the nerfs will, and I'm not saying the nerfs are good. By the way, I'm not saying the nerfs are good. All I'm saying is that I think that that's part of it. Let's see here. And exploiters aspect unstoppable reduced, just a number of basically like everything has been reduced. Everything that's good for you has been reduced, and everything that's bad for you has been increased. So like an example here, monster scaling has been increased. Okay, damage that you do has been decreased. Made mistake. The gem should have been here. You're right. Yeah, I just think that having it on two separate pages, it's a communication error. For sure. Let's see here. Scaling of greed, trying to reduce its effect.
I think watching this video, or not this video, but watching the patch notes again, going to patch notes again, like, I'm just in disbelief from the first time that this is
Yeah.
seriously the 1.1 patch notes that Blizzard decided to put out. Imagine if this was the first patch of World of Warcraft.
Let's make everything worse. Everything was too easy, clearly. Like, dude, what the fuck does Blizzard have against their player base?
Yeah, this is psychotic behavior. This is like, what is it, sadism? Like, they're creating such a bad playing environment for their player base. It's insane.
What is their fucking problem? There's so much content. Check out what people are saying and doing and thinking. Stop looking at your fucking statistics. I
It's
guarantee they're still doing it.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. I thought like a lot of like content creators would be like, oh yeah, and people are just gonna be just like unrightfully angry at Blizzard, and they're just gonna complain anyway. But I don't think that's the vibe or the case this time. I think everyone's
Nope.
like, this is fucked up.
This is bad.
This is the
This is
worst
just,
patch
like,
notes I've
tone
ever
deaf.
seen. Ever.
God, this is bro. This is absolutely tragic on many levels. It's not just Diablo. It's just Blizzard entirely.
Behind you, you fucking stupid, dude.
Effectiveness, improve its effectiveness throughout the game. That's true. It should scale off of the monster level.
BioShock on
which
hard
the gold it
difficulties was
drops.
pretty frustrating.
There's no longer a limit on how many materials you can refine. This is good. World bosses drop potions. It doesn't
World War Z.
Oh.
matter. They're dead in 1 second anyway. Many affixes are too efficient and outshining alternatives. So basically they're adding in more effects. So like barrier generation can appear for all classes. Thank you so much, Blizzard. As a barbarian, barrier generation is exactly what I was looking for. I needed that. Yes, thank you. That's awesome. And let's see here. Mastery skill damage can now appear on shields. Why would you add resistance to all elements? Didn't Blizzard say resistance is bugged? Why would you put a new stat in the game if you know it's bugged? I don't even understand. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Like,
why would you do that?
Like, why wouldn't you just wait for
Yeah,
season
why
2
would
to
you
add
do
that
that?
stat? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you?
Right, they're just like, we
like,
insist.
why?
We
I
want
don't.
it on the books.
The fuck? They're just putting things
It makes
into
no
the
sense.
pool
It's so
of
ridiculously
potential upgrades,
stupid.
so it's harder to reroll.
This whole
right?
patch notes.
So, like, for example, where is it?
Fuck, man.
So, if you are inside of a box, and each of these things... So what's your chance to get each one of these things? If you can get one thing randomly inside the box. 33%, right? A third? Okay, how about now? Assuming they're all the same size and they all have the same probability. 25%. That's crazy. How about now? 20%. Thank you, Blizzard, for making it harder to reroll our stats. Very appreciated.
Dude, yeah, that's what I kind of like mentioned
awesome,
earlier.
super
I didn't,
cool.
I
They're
didn't.
just
the
crowding
fuck.
at the pool.
So
Yeah, it's so bad.
Now it's going to be harder to reroll our stats, and they have been also, by the way, this one, resistance to all elements. Let me go ahead and just do a visual indicator for that. This one is poop. It's poop. And so if you get that one, you just lose. And so, yep, there we go. Let's see here. Strength 50% stronger when on weapons. The core stat bonuses on weapons were overperforming.
What?
This
I
is
missed
the
this
way,
earlier.
I feel like this is how
This is
Blizzard.
the- what?
Cooldown reduction FXs often felt mandatory due to their raw power. I really, really dislike this.
Oh my
And
god,
I want to
this
talk
is
about
so
why
crazy.
I dislike the cooldown reduction. The reason why I dislike it, a lot of people use them because they are very powerful.
Hello.
But on top of being more powerful, they're more fun. Because I don't like sitting around waiting for my shouts to come back up so
Yeah,
I
this
can
is a fun
engage in
detective moment.
combat and not be CC'd by 7 different things. So I don't understand this. And by the way, they're still mandatory. We're still going to be using cooldown reduction, at least as a barbarian, on the necklace and the helmet, because it's still the best stat. So if they're trying to make it not mandatory, maybe not the necklace, because there's a lot of really good things that can roll on neck, but helmet for sure.
Keep opening the fucking door for letting the zombies in.
It seems like they're actively trying to kill the game. It slows down gameplay. Well, it slows down gameplay in a bad way. And do you remember whenever they changed barbarian shouts to where, like this is the beginning of the game, whenever they changed barbarian shouts to where you weren't able to use them all the time? The problem is that it's fun to be able to use your abilities. I think that the game needs to be balanced, but this is the way that I think Blizzard does a lot of, they do a lot of adjustments in the game. Is they see that, wow, 85% of players are using this stat. That means this stat must be overpowered. We have to nerf this stat. And what they do is they analyze a spreadsheet from a perspective that is not intrinsic to why the player enjoys the stat. Why is the player stacking the stat? So like they just look at a spreadsheet, but they don't look at why the numbers are on the spreadsheet. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's like basically a lot of these changes could have been made by a person who didn't actually play Diablo. Because if you played Diablo, you would know that resistance is garbage. You would know that the reason why people go for, you know, a lot of these stats is because, like, cooldown reduction is because it's more fun.
Hello?
Yo, what up, McConnell?
Cool, it's working.
And they're hoping they add more in the Paragon board. You're saying MBAs are balancing the game? Bro, I'm saying that it doesn't take an MBA to make this. Like, I think that a high school kid could have, you know, just look at a chart and everything that's above 90%, like, nerf it. Okay. pretty easy, right? Do you think Asmon will play WoW with me soon? I mean, like this is making it a lot sooner. I was expecting to play the Diablo 4 season for like 2 weeks, man. I'm feeling like right now it's gonna be 1 week. I'm gonna be honest.
So true. I
Not
said
looking
2
good.
weeks earlier. I was like,
Ooh, not looking
I
good.
might like play
We're
for
gonna
like
do a raid
2
Makana
days.
with like all
to be honest.
workers, and just have a DK carry us, and just get all the gear. Like I planned it out. Like yeah, just do one dude in dungeon. Yeah, do that too. Yeah, I want to get stacked. Get like I don't think I can get gladiator anymore. It's just it takes too much work, and I have like too many other like obligations. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. And also like nobody gets gladiator. Nobody even plays the game. It's like weird. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, fuck.
Talking about like the current
CDR
classic
is
season?
nerfed. They
The
nerfed it?
current,
Oh, okay, so-
current
fuck.
retail season.
CDR got massively nerfed. And again,
Really?
Yeah.
is it fun being able to hit your spells? Because I think it's fun being able to hit my spell.
100%. It is very fun to hit your spells.
You guys think so? Yeah, me too. And we're seeing critical strike damage and vulnerable
Ridiculous.
damage often be required as a hard requirement for build success in Diablo 4.
What's the complaint right now?
I am
about
going
not
to give
being
a
able to hit?
super hot take
Um,
here.
They're making cooldown reduction reduce less.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah, hitting
for
your buttons
everything?
less is less fun, right? Because you want to hit your buttons.
Oh yeah, for the offhand. Yeah, by 30%. Like brutal.
No, not on the
So is it
offhand.
10%?
Everywhere on your helmet, on your offhand, and on your
Oh.
amulet. All
Fucking-
sources of cooldown reduction reduce 30% less efficiently.
Oh.
Effectively.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sadness.
I support these changes.
Dude, they need to bring back Ingion. That should have been a unique that they added back into the game.
I support the. I support I support this change. I think this is a necessary and needed change.
Yeah, and I can walk back on what I said
Yeah,
about vulnerable
but-
damage before. It's like you either give everyone vulnerable, like access to doing vulnerable, or just remove it and redesign the damage system.
Vulnerability was too much of a pass fail in the game, and every single build that I see was scaling off of vulnerability. Almost everything was. Like where 90% of the game, 90% of the builds scaled off of vulnerability, and I think that they didn't really, like, I don't like vulnerability, but I just have to use it because of the way that things scale. So this is the way that I think things scale in Diablo, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Which is really what Blizzard came out with, man.
Just so people can see why vulnerability is
Flashbang,
problematic.
holy shit, dude.
Base stat times vulnerability times all other conditionals. This is the way that I think that it works. Crit separate too? Fuck, I forgot about that. Well, yeah, of course crit's separate. Yeah, no, you're right. Crit is separate as well. But what I'm saying is that, like, vulnerability is effectively a conditional stat, right? Because, like, the condition is vulnerable or not vulnerable. So vulnerability fundamentally should be down here. Like, logically, it should be down here. But it's not. So I think vulnerability it's too strong. And because it's too strong, it makes it to where every single item in the game, weapon, has to have this. Does that make sense? They nerfed it with no real substitute. They did add substitutes, but I don't think it's nearly enough. And also, here's the problem. They didn't nerf the equation. They didn't
That's
change
true.
the equation. They just changed the effectiveness of one variable in the equation. So we still do the same equation. It's just that one variable is a lot worse. But the problem is the formula, not the fact that one of the is like, the problem is that variable in general. So as far as I know, I've looked this up, and I actually haven't looked it up. I've seen people talking about it already today. I was reading it in bed. Everybody's saying that vulnerability is still the best stat. Am I wrong? You still
Yeah, there's
need
just
it.
no way it's not.
It's still the best.
so
stat.
good.
So effectively, they didn't even solve the problem. It's just harder to stack. Yeah, crit is better, but yeah, it's good. I mean, still. I mean, like, you're gonna need that as well. Sorcerers only really had to get vulnerability to get even close to acceptable numbers, though. That's why the nerf killed them off. I don't mind nerfing vulnerability and crit. I like crit because
Nerfing
crit is big
vulnerability
numbers, and I like big numbers.
and the control. Oh my god, man.
That's it. Yeah, I think big numbers are cool.
Control aspect.
I like doing critical
Super
attacks.
sad.
Dude,
And
we're
they do a
fucked.
lot of damage. That's very cool. But defenses and CDR with the damage nerfs is overkill. The problem isn't vulnerability. Let me read what people said. Fact that doing decent damage relies on it. You are exactly right. You are 100% right. And what they
it's
did
not that
is they nerfed vulnerability,
being great is bad.
but
It's that
they
you
didn't
don't do anything
effectively
without
nerf
it.
vulnerability. They just nerfed the characters.
Nerf vulnerability.
Because if vulnerability
and
is
give me more
still an
base.
S tier stat, and everybody still wants to get it,
Whatever. I think vulnerability is
then
fine.
you didn't really
just have
change the
more
way
damage
people play the
outside of it.
game. You just
You just need to do like 200% more damage in World Tier
Yeah,
4.
that would solve it. That would
Just
solve
like across the board, just like somewhere, everywhere, just add that damage in somewhere. Honestly, the base skills could do more. Like the base numbers could do
it.
more.
No, that's
You're-
exactly what
do you-
we're saying.
Yeah, like do you remember the mid patch that they did, where they like
Yeah, they just
they like
buffed a lot of
tickled the
shit
spells. They didn't
Yeah, they
didn't
just
fuck
touched
it,
them
dude.
all a
They
little.
like
Yeah, okay,
tickled
you're
it,
right.
dude.
They
They
were
like
touched
plus
it.
13 damage, plus 6 damage. Like really? No, dude. Like they just need to do like 2,000 damage everywhere, and just see how the game feels after that.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so fucking like scared to
Like-
just do these changes, man. Like stupid assholes, you're already winging it. Fucking wing it better. Wing it well.
Like really, you remember that patch notes? Like how pathetic was it? So bad.
It was awful. Yeah, it was awful. And yet it
made
still
playing
made a
the
big
game in the
difference
same
because it
way
was
that
so-
already
skills were
exists
so bad,
feel
dude.
worse.
Like while leveling.
So how's it a
It's
good
fault.
change? Very good point. Very good point. I feel like it's a good change in terms of like goal, but it just did not achieve the goal. Does that make sense? So like I think that vulnerability damage should not be the end all and be all of stats. So I'm glad they're nerfing it, but you're right. It wasn't enough and it wasn't done in the right way. So yeah. Nerfing items, we've already found, feels very bad. Yeah, but if you didn't do that, then it would be weird too. They need to remove vulnerability entirely. I don't know. I mean, maybe vulnerability would have been better if it was like a stat that only rogues could have or something like that. I feel like vulnerability sounds like a rogue stat. Like druids having vulnerability doesn't really like it doesn't like aesthetically make sense to me. Like I don't know, maybe this is like stupid, but like that's just the way I see it. So yeah, let's see here. And vulnerability damage, again, vulnerability is too strong. They should have nerfed it either more or they should have changed the way that the equation for how vulnerability is calculated into damage is done. So let's see here. Disparities in inherent stat affixes can rule some weapons out before the rest of their stats are even rolled. So this is the critical strike damage on swords. This is really nice because I have 2 swords. So now, whenever I was doing, so what they did is they took my damage. So imagine, let's go ahead and just go ahead and, so let's say this was my damage.
Damn, they gutted crit.
Okay, Blizzard
Insane.
did this.
What did they do to it?
Like the swords used to give I
They
think
cut it in
25%. Now they give
Oh,
like
yeah.
10%.
So where
12 and a half.
previously I was
So bad.
doing
Brutal.
this much damage, now I'm only doing this much.
It's like literally that much.
Controlled enemies decreased by 30%. Damage to crowd controlled enemies. The only person distant damage, damage while bleeding. Like that. I don't like him. Term health
What
of
does
the
this
game.
part say?
Levels above exactly. We've seen that skillful players are frequently slaughtering monsters many levels above their own. We still want to support this. Current situation is beyond what we believe is correct for the long-term health of the game. To chase the skull, we're shifting power to many offensive affixes from defensive affixes, make our in-game content more deadly, specifically for those chasing our pinnacle boss. An encounter not meant for the faint of heart. I mean, it's just like... Is it really like... I mean, I don't know. I think that like having a boss that just... Having a boss with hard to understand hitboxes on abilities that kill you in one hit, I don't know. It doesn't really seem super exciting to me, but okay. Great. Overcoming Pinnacle Boss will take every ounce of grit you can muster and all the tools at your disposal. Yeah, unless you play a Necromancer, it just one-shots her. True. Let's see here. Physical damage. So, wait a second. So, all of these stats are all increased. Like, fire damage got increased by 25%. And then, okay, so these are just all of, like, these, damage with ranged weapons, damage with skills that swap to new weapons. This is such a, like, just delete this. This is so stupid. Damage with two-handed slashing, damage with two-handed bludgeoning. Just delete, get this the fuck out of here.
By the way, I mean, 25% might look like a lot, but dude, they removed crit damage from like everywhere.
Here.
Seems like they had no idea how to balance anything.
Like, it just feels stupid. It feels fucking stupid. Like,
so we'll just do it, and we're okay with that. And it's like,
it's
guys,
artificially inflated. Yes.
What is wrong with your emotions? Your what do you want us to feel?
And
You're just gonna make the game harder now?
dude, proportionally, 25% to everything that they removed from like the scalers are crazy. That's nothing.
What is this? It's redundant. All additive damage? Yeah, this is all additive damage. Boring, stale garbage. Yes. Let's see here. Imbued skill damage. Okay, so then now we're going to talk about total armor. So total armor is a stat that makes you take less damage.
Wow.
And now it's been reduced
and increases your resistances, which was
by 30%. So if you had a whole shield, now you have 70% of a shield. And let's see here. Total armor in werebear and werewolf form. I guess this is obviously damage reduction from close enemies reduced by 20%. Damage reduction from distant enemies reduced by 20%. Damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding, burning, poisoned. Shadow damage over time. Damage reduction while fortified, all reduced. So what they did here is they just tried to make everything do more damage. Like basically every single stat that I had, like all of these things here, just got massively fucking nerfed. So there we go. Awesome. They want you to feel stronger without while feeling weaker. Yeah. Adam Fletcher tweet. We've been hearing feedback from players regarding some of the changes of 1.1. We're gonna have a campfire chat. Guys, if anybody was wondering if they were stealing ideas from Lost Ark, now I don't think we need to wonder anymore. If the developers had any balls at all, they would begin to stream in a white room with 3 of them in front of laptops. Exactly the way they did the Lost Ark stream. Yeah, if they had any fucking...
Did you see that Lost Ark? All the Lost Ark stuff?
No.
Oh man. Lost Ark is just, they kinda got... They're shit.
3 bozos, yes. Have it be like Joe Shelley, Joseph Piora, and fucking Rod Ferguson all sitting there at the beginning, just. Well, here we are. And just never refer to it or say anything like that. And apologize, and spend the whole time saying you're sorry. Exactly. Oh god. So let's see here. And A blue protocol apology? BP? Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, BP. From an oil spill, yeah. How many apology streams does this deserve? I don't know. I think that we'll look at the... Well, let's see what happens with the first emergency live stream, and then we'll see if they need a second one. Yeah, I think that's it. Discussing the Malignant Hearts. Barb has the worst ones. Oh, I'm not going to play Barbarian anymore.
I'm so curious for that stream, because last time whenever they got any like weird questions, negative questions, I guess, negative implying questions even, dude, they just like couldn't answer it. So
I'm done. Yeah, I'm not going to play it again, because I was going to play Thorns, but there's just too many nerfs to Thorns. All of these are like massive nerfs to Thorns.
yeah, right. All of these things would be a nerf for Thorns, because then you take more damage and die faster.
Oh, that. Oh yeah.
Because like Thorns requires you to be able to take damage, and so like I'm getting nerfed by like 150% here. So yeah, you can't tank. Yeah, so fuck it. Like, why would I? Yeah, I'm gonna play either Necro or, and also like, is injured damage not on the list? It's not, is it?
It was already high and good. That's why
that's really
they're just
disappointing.
copying
Injured
it.
damage is like
they're using injured as a baseline.
Because have you guys seen the builds where like people stay at like 30% health to maximize injured damage
injured's
reduction?
gonna be like crappy.
That's so fucking stupid. Like, it's such a stupid way of playing the game. Like, why is that even possible? Yeah, they'll open the stream by apologizing for forgetting injured damage and then nerf that too. Yeah, true. New Uber boss at level 80. That's actually a really good idea, and I'm glad they did that. A level 80 Uber boss is actually like a... That's good. Like, that's one of the things that they should have had on release, and that's good. Good move. Yep. I love the notes are just unceremoniously. Yeah, they just unceremoniously end. Yeah, exactly. And let's see here. We will look at the way that these changes have been received. Sorcerers, as I said before, are especially unhappy with basically everything.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we got
wrecked.
Why did they went so hard?
Yeah. I plan
Blizzard
to
went
boycott
so
the
hard.
randomization and nerf to Sork as a former
dude,
Barb
they
player by playing
annihilated
Rogue
the sorcerer.
and naming myself Rotzel. I mean, I think that really, it's just like, let's look and see what we got here. All right, let's read some of the posts that people have. Patch 1.1 is essentially a slowdown to every part of the game. And this is a 10k upvoted, 12k updated thread. All classes are nerfed. No reduction in enchantment costs. Helltides are slower. Boosting is nerfed. Doing content other than Nightmare Dungeons is nerfed. Experience bonus for killing monsters of higher levels nerfed by 90%.
Doing Nightmare Dungeons is nerfed.
Crit and vulnerable damage now nerfed 17 and 40%. It's not like the game was lightning fast to begin with, but now it's a proper slog. I honestly can't fathom their decision process here. I can. They had a spreadsheet, and they looked at all of the different things that players that were playing the game a lot were using, and the things that people were using a lot, they got rid of them.
Yeah, no, they're pathetic. I'm like fucking
That's
offended.
what they did.
I'm deeply
That's what I
fucking
think.
It is
Like,
kind of
literally
offensive
somebody
to anyone who
doesn't
plays
even
the
play
game.
Who's never played a
Like,
Diablo
what the
game
fuck
before
is wrong with them?
could have made
It's
like,
offensive to the players, dude. Because like
good for casuals though.
it's so bad. It's
no,
not good for
not good for
casuals. My
casuals.
God, no.
Not good for
Let's see
anybody.
here. They felt bored because they had nothing left to do. Oh God, what are you doing? Blizzard is not listening to the people that think that there's nothing to do in the game. Oh my God, these people play the game 200 hours. You play the game every fucking day for 10 hours for a month, and then you complain there's nothing to do. Oh, you fucking kidding me? Sorcerer unique is the only unique with an added negative. Not only is it a pure negative, it removes your ability to precisely position yourself in a game where monsters commonly drop deadly area effects on death. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
so bad. It's hilariously
I
bad.
think I'm done. Totally. I feel like I got my money's worth. This is a perfect opportunity to bow out gracefully, let the sweats cry, go play something else, and then maybe come back in 2 years whenever I'm not burnt out from grinding and the game has enough changes to feel fresh again.
Dude, I do feel like there's no real reason to play this season. I
Played
mean, I
all
want to try
morning,
out the new
couldn't wait for the
thing,
patch.
so, but
Why did you think? Tried to
I want to
tried
play out
No.
of curiosity.
logged
it's
out,
it's
patched
so
up,
bad
logged back
though.
in, tried to run 2 nightmare dungeons, noped right out. Had plans to play all night tonight. Looks like I'ma finally fix that sprinkler head in the yard this weekend. Man, that's another dad filtered out of the game. Look at that. After this patch, watching your grass grow might actually be more entertaining. I'm with you. I was hyped for Season 1 too. I picked up Divinity Original Sin. I hit 100 last night, and I think that's a good high point to stop at. Man. Season 1 isn't out yet, though? Well, why would somebody want to level up again whenever the changes aren't fun? Like, because the way the game is playing is basically going to be the way that it's playing in Season 1, right? Like, the changes are the same. Like, yeah, you'll have the Malignant Hearts as well, and, like, you know, how much of a difference is that going to make up? You know, we'll have to see. But, overall, this is the, yeah, this is it. This is the game. Let's see here. Cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. Crit vulnerable. What is this shit? Aspect of disobedience. I think, by the way, the disobedience aspect, like, I think that it is, like, to an extent, I understand the game design goal of whenever 100% of players are using one thing, you probably should reevaluate why they're using that. But the problem is that they solve an issue with one solution just by nerfing it. They don't understand, like, why this is so good, I don't think. And I think that's the issue. Malignant Hearts are online. Yeah, I'll look at it in a minute. Is doing an emergency live stream. Thank you of the communication, and I do, by the way, I do appreciate the fact that Blizzard, within 1 day of releasing the patch notes, is going to have a stream talking to the player base. It is to respond. Well, let's hope you listen this time. That's all we can ask. True?
Well, I don't know. David.
it's bad. It's like, it's critical. I think it's done. E4 might be okay later, but Blizzard is just done. They've just lost it. They just have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, they're so lost. Crazy.
They're so lost. They have no vision, reacting. They're just like, oh, it's too easy for people. Oh my god, like, bitch, just fix your game. Make it more fun.
Yeah, they
Add
Diablo.
20 levels. I don't know. Don't even add anything new to the Paragon. Just add 20 levels. You know what? Just like, and then
They
let
made
people scale certain things. I don't know. You think we're leveling too fast? Well, add 20 levels. Why do you have to nerf everything?
Dude, yeah, the EXP nerfs are crazy. I guess they didn't nerf spawn rates, but I mean, I don't know. It's just bad. It's so bad. Well,
I don't know. Like, they just didn't even sell it well. You know, I just don't believe any good from it.
curious
I
for
don't,
that.
and they didn't.
Dev stream.
Yeah, they just didn't do a good job.
Well, shit. What next?
Ooh. You can take that.
I'll be honest. I think I need to call it and lie down.
Yeah, it's bedtime. I'm gonna go to bed.
All right. Well, definitely a shit on Blizzard type of stream.
Definitely was. It's all night.
I didn't
Eh,
think the patch notes would be that bad. Like they were.
right?
It's,
No
it is
upsell.
offensive. It's offensive. It was offensive.
They really are just. They just don't get it.
I want my money back.
I want my money back. I kind of feel that way. I had fun enough, but also,
I mean, I
want
had
more.
fun. Yeah, I did have fun. But the patch notes, the patch that they're implementing right now, they are sucking the fun out of the game. They're making you deal less damage, take more damage, and increasing playtime across the board.
They
What?
really fucking are, dude.
So upsetting. But yeah, I think I need to eat and lie down. I'm actually so tired. I haven't been sleeping.